A Zooms Up Architecture by Gray West. Architecture is the simplest means of articulating time and space, of modulating reality, of engendering dreams. Ivan Chechklov, Formulary for a New Urbanism, 1953. Chapter 1. The End. Oh, you want me to tell all about my life story? Well, it's pretty much too late to get into all that, but how about this? I was born in 1899, and then just yesterday I knew it was finally time for me to die. Time for me to go. I'm 102 years old, and that's about 25 years too long for some folks, apparently. I've been in this town my whole life. Been here since this was a working farm. Been here since all this was farms, all around, far out as you could see. Since before all the farmers sold off their land and somebody chopped it up and sold off the pieces to 100 different people. I could hear the crick in the wind when it was real quiet, and I could hear the horses whinny way off in the pasture. But now I can't hear none of that no more. There ain't no more horses, and there ain't no pasture. And the crick's covered up by a culvert, and all I can hear is those semi-trucks farting on over the highway. I'm a fixture in this town. When people give directions, they say, "Turn left when you see the farmhouse at the old Longman place." How are people going to know how to get to Nickerson's drugstore when I'm gone? This is a landmark. I've always been here. I always liked it quiet, peaceful by myself out in the country. Guess I'm like a homebody, you could say, and I ain't never been nowhere else. Daleville always been good enough to me, and plus I always have my friends here. So many people been here and gone now that I can't hardly remember most of their names anymore. The Murphys. Now they was some nice folks. They lived with me about 15 years, but then they had to take off and left me on my own, and I had to take care of myself since then. Don't matter. I'm an Indiana boy. I can take care of myself fine. I'm guessing you really don't even care about this stuff anyways. You're probably just here for some kind of spectacle, to watch an old man go out, see how it happens. Just plain curiosity. You think maybe you're going to see my soul fly up out of me like a mist when I go? I don't think you'll see it, my friend. You try to tell people about your life story when you're as old as me, and nobody wants to listen, 'cause when you're real old and broke down, they don't listen or they can't hear what you're trying to say, and it just seems like you can't get the point across the way you want to. Which don't bother me too much usually, but sometimes I get lonely too. And then somebody come to visit and I try to tell them something that I remember from a ways back. Something that's pertinent to the moment though, 'cause I ain't senile, thank God, I'm just old. And the Laymans, who used to live here even farther back before the Murphys, used to tell their kids, "Listen to the older generation, 'cause they're the link to history." Those kids never did, though. Not like I ever did when I was young either, and now that I'm old, nobody listens to me when being the link to history is pretty much all I got left as far as usefulness goes. I'll tell you this, though, and you best listen. Like I am now, someday you will be. So sometimes somebody feels sorry for me and come to visit, and I try to tell them about the time Josie Lehman let one of them horses in the front room. And they don't listen because they're thinking about whatever it is that concerns people nowadays. And then I start to get mad and maybe I stomp or bang the walls, slam a door real hard or something. So then they run off and they're afraid of me and they don't come back anymore. Not like I would ever hurt anybody, but what can you do? I'm too tired to hurt anybody. Too tired, and I don't even like standing anymore, and my joints hurt. I was plain when I was younger, but still kind of handsome, tall and strong and angular. Now it feels like my outsides are trying to sag all the way off my frame. Anyways, so I think that's about all I got time for. Seems like it's time for me to go. I thought I was okay with that before, and now I'm not so sure. It's a sunny day outside, blue skies. It's the first warm day of spring that we got, and I wish I had a little more time to think about all this. Just one more day, even just one more hour, I'd still have some use in me, you'd see. I could hear them coming before, and now I can see them. A dump truck and a bulldozer just rolled up outside. A fire truck and one of them sports utility vehicles. I just can't stop thinking about what it's going to be like. Is it going to hurt? Even more than I already hurt? Will it just be pow, and then all dark forever? Or maybe not even darkness, because if you don't have eyes or a mind left to see anything, then you can't see any dark anyway. Just nothing, and that's it. I keep trying to picture nothing, and it ain't working. I guess it'd be just like it was before I was here. I don't remember any of that, and it was okay. I didn't hurt. I didn't have to worry. The waiting is getting to me. It's messing with my head. I really hope there is something else after this. I don't want to be gone. The layman's, they always talked about their God and what's supposed to come next. How your soul never really dies, and if you've been good, you go to a nice place. Which sounds great, but I always figured it was just wishful thinking. And anyways, it probably don't even work like that for me. Some nice heaven, though, where all your holes are patched and you're nice and dry inside, and you get a fresh coat of paint on the outside, and you could just sit back in the sun and tell your stories. Wouldn't be bad at all. I heard some people say houses do have souls, but I'm thinking that's not exactly what they meant. I heard some other people saying about how you live forever if you get famous. Well, I can cross that off. Maybe if even just a few people remember me, I'll keep living on, kinda. But that won't do me much good if I don't even know about it now, will it? If I don't know I'm living on, but other folks keep me alive, am I still really living? If people say, turn left at the old Longman place, does that still count? And did the Murphys even think about me anymore? The Laymans? The Gustwillers? The Popes? The Macmillans? The Longmans? Do they ever wonder if I'm still here and ever think about some of the clothes and pots and pans they left behind to rot and rust? Or think about the little daughter and the 8 dogs they left buried in the yard? Well, if they do remember, I hope they know how I took good care of them, kept them dry all those years, kept them warm, how I watched over them. I kind of doubt they would, though. Those kids are off living their own lives. I just wish it was over already and I didn't have to think about this anymore. I've been thinking about it every now and then for all my life. And now the time's come when I'm really going to find out. It's funny to think that this is really the last couple minutes. Like when I watched that moonshot on the television in the 60s. The countdown is on. The fire chief got out of the truck. Back when I was young, the fire trucks looked a lot different, but I guess this ain't my time anymore. Chief's talking to the other firemen about a controlled burn. So I'm thinking they're going to set me on fire, and then once I burn up, they're going to push everything over with a bulldozer, knock it into the hole where my cellar was, and then cover it up with dirt. It'll look like nothing is left. Let the grass grow over it for a couple of seasons, and then you'll never be able to tell I was here. I was here. Remember me.